Hey, what's up guys? Sloth King here. Today I'm going to be working on the Supra and I have a really sick upgrade that I'm going to be doing today. So as many of you know, the stock halogen headlights, they suck at night. And like the brights are good, but the low beams are just awful. There's plenty of sites out there where you can get like upgraded housings that you can put like H4 bulbs in them, but they're like $400 and up. And so I was doing some research on some other headlights, trying to find like a solid beam pattern. And there's like JBL speaker that's really solid with the beam pattern. There's truck light that's solid, and then there's I think it's called like Gritty or something like that. It starts with a G, but those headlights are like $150 a piece and up. And I didn't have that kind of money to drop on just headlights. I'd rather throw that in something else. But there's this company called Loyo, and they make some pretty affordable headlights, and they specialize in like Jeep products. But I picked up a set, and they're actually on the more affordable spectrum, especially when they go on sale. They're like, they can drop down to like 85 for a pair, but they're usually like around a little over $100. It's not bad for a whole set, because anything that was like cheaper from what I was looking at, the beam pattern is trash. And the build quality is just awful. Some of the housings will melt, even though they're LEDs. They're just wired improperly, and yeah, you'll end up blinding people on the road, or not having a proper upgrade. And these beam patterns, from what I was looking online, they're actually really solid. They have a good cutoff. There's just like some kind of like halo effect on the very top, but people have said that it doesn't interfere with like blinding people on the road. So that's what you're going to get with a budget headlight, but this is on the way better side of the budget spectrum. They are DOT approved, which is great. A lot of the cheaper headlights are not DOT approved. So that's pretty sick. And so I reached out to Loyo, and they didn't fully sponsor it, but they cut me a deal. I still had to pay money for this, which is totally fine. But they also hooked me up with a discount code for you guys. So if you like the headlights after checking out this review, go ahead and enter the code SKG, and you're gonna get, I think it's like 10% off or so. So yeah, I will have the link below. So how about we jump right into it? I'll show you the headlights that I got, and let's do this upgrade. All right, let's go ahead and crack this open. So the cool thing about these that really caught my eye is that, one, they were fully plug and play, and there's a DRL on there along with a turn signal, which is pretty cool. So this is the shape of the beam pattern that you're gonna have on here. So we'll see how accurate that is in person. So since the Supra does have a standard socket on there, we'll be able to literally just plug it in. All right, so I do like the packaging. It's pretty clean. This does come with some screws, probably for mounting purposes. So here's a socket adapter if you don't have a standard like H4 pattern. That would literally just plug in there, but since the Supra does, we don't need to worry about this. And on here, one of these is going to be for the daytime running lights, and then the other one's going to be for the turn signal. And the cool thing on here, there is a plug that you can remove if you want to get rid of any moisture, if it does like build up any kind of condensation. All right, so start by taking this off. For those of you that have never replaced your headlights on the Supra, or if you're literally just getting into them, there's going to be 2 screws on each side. You're going to pop this cover off, and then there's going to be a metal bracket here that lines the headlight. So you're going to have 4 screws that go all the way around. You're going to take that off. These bottom screws are always tricky. They're always like super hard to like grab, so they always end up falling. But you can literally just place your hand underneath here. And then, I don't know why, but I put a flathead there. So all this bracket does is keep the headlight from falling out. This is literally just a headlight mount. Sweet, with that out, we can now pull this out and then just unplug it from the back. Yep, it's that easy. And then there's going to be a screw right here. This is your adjustment point for your headlight. This is going to control it, like the beam pattern, like down or up, and this is going to be the beam left to right. I'm going to keep this film on while I install it, and now we literally just plug this thing in. And I do have a new plug on there that I will be replacing later on, but for now let's just put our wiring in there, put the headlight in. Let's mount it up. Here, let's listen to this. Oh yeah, that's satisfying. Oh yeah. Huh. I hope this fits in there. Uh-oh. Alright, I got that one lined up. Oh, it's weird. Seems like the housing might be a little bit bigger. Weird. Let's look at the shape of the headlight. Let's do that real quick. So it's not as slim on the sides. Maybe the plug was just in the way. Alright, let's try it again. Okay, I'm starting that one. I'm gonna put one in this bottom corner. I think maybe I might need to get like longer screws or something. For now, I'm just going to hold it in place by the top two. I mean, it looks pretty cool. All right, well, let's turn it on and see if it works. That's really weird. Alright, well, let me try the other headlight. Maybe this one is broken. Nope. That's weird. Okay, so it seems like it might be different. Okay, maybe I have the socket type 3 not standard. So that might be the issue. So let's go ahead and grab this thing. So if this is the socket type, ground up top, low beam, high beam. Okay, let's try this. The ground there. Let's put this low beam here. Let's put the high beam here. And let's see if that's the issue. Hey, there we go. Okay. Oh god, that's bright. Jesus. See if our high beam works now. Oh, maybe I got it wrong. Switch the low to the high. Okay, let's see if that works. So this should be low beam. Okay. Why is high beam not working? Okay, that is definitely high beam. Okay, that looks like the pattern for a high beam. Let me switch them again. Okay, what pattern is this? Okay, that looks like a low beam. Let's turn on high beam. Why aren't you working? Well, let me figure this out. I'll be back, guys. All right, so I found out what the issue is, and looks like I need to buy, or I might make a wiring harness. I might just buy this one. I need to find a positive negative switch conversion, or I need to make that. That way the headlights know, the LED headlights know when to switch to the high beams, because apparently the high beams need its own like ground or whatever, because like how these cars are set up, that one negative or the ground on the stock halogen headlight, I guess it like switches over and it's just like, oh hey, yep, we know high beams need to come on and it's already ground. But I guess it doesn't do that whenever you have an LED conversion. I'm gonna order that, and whenever it comes in, I will wire it up, because you need a few relays, so I'm gonna use that relay box that I have for the headlights. So anyway, I will be back with some updates on how I did everything whenever that harness comes in, and yeah, so I'll see you on the next day. Alright guys, it's day 2 of working on the Supra, trying to get the high beams to work on those new LED lights, and I just got that new harness in. So it's going to be by True Mods. I'm going to see if this is long enough. I'm definitely going to have to modify this whole thing. That way I don't have to mount these relays up anywhere. I can just put them inside of my relay box and then just run some extra wires up there. That way I can use the rest of the box and it can look pretty clean. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, try to get an idea of exactly what I'm going to like how I'm gonna route everything, and then I'll tell you guys exactly what's gonna go on. So let me figure this out, and then we'll be back to hopefully figure this whole thing out. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you how they sent it and how it's all set up for you guys. So just in case if you don't have that same relay box that I have, you can actually just use this straight out of the box. It's pretty nice. So it does come with its own fuse. They threw a 25 in here, but the instructions say 30. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, they make it so that way you can mount this somewhere on your chassis. You can do the same thing with this. Just mount your relays up. Everything's all wired up. So this is going to go to plug into one of the connectors on your headlights. And then this is going to plug into your new LED headlights. So I don't know why they're just running the power off of one connector instead of running it off of the two. So that's kind of odd. So we'll have to see what's going on with that, and see. I'm gonna mock it up and like turn on the headlights just to see if everything works all right. But yeah. This is going to be your longer one that goes over to the passenger side, and each one you gotta mount a ground to it, since one of these pins are ground, so that's all right. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and mock this up, make sure that the high beams work, and then we'll move on. All right, so I got them to work. I'll show you exactly what's going on, but here it is off. This part needs to be grounded, and boom, low beam is on. It looks like both the low and high are on, but it's just a low. Let me come over here and turn the brights on. Brights are on, and then you'll see it get way brighter. Boom, brights are on. Sick. Sweet. So I'll show you exactly how that's all wired up. I do need to change a few pins to make it a lot easier on just the assembly process. All right, so this plug that comes off the LED headlights, this is going to be just fine. Since this is ground, this is going to be your low beam, and this is going to be your high beam. The kit, it comes with the standard H4 setup, but the Supra does not use a standard H4 setup. So I did have to use the adapter that comes into this kit, or that comes from this kit, and pretty much move the ground that's over on the right side, move it to the top. Then we have our low beam and our high beam. So I'm just going to depin this and switch the white with the black and the black with the white, and that will make it so that way I can just plug this right into the body harness, and we don't have to worry about cutting anything or using that adapter. That way it's just plug and play. Now I'm just going to, here, let me get out of the light. Now I just need to go ahead and figure out what I'm going to do with that harness, because where the red wire for the fuse is coming off, I already have a spot in the relay box for a fuse. So I'm just gonna depin that from the relays and just run a new power wire up there. And then I just need to extend a few of the wires coming down to the headlight itself, or the headlight plug itself, because I don't think it's gonna be long enough going back. So let me get that figured out, get all my wires set up. Just gonna go ahead and chug along. I don't have too much daylight left, so yeah, let me figure this out, and then we'll go on and I'll show you guys exactly what I did. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I'm going to do. I'm going to depin the wires going into here and put them into here. So the first thing that I need to do is make sure that my relays are going to be in the same spot. And these are the same relays. These ones just have a metal attachment on the back, which I'm going to keep. So I'm just going to use this other one. It's literally the same model number, same one. It's a 5-pin relay. I just need to make sure that everything is going to line up just fine, so I can switch it on over. Which this is so this is a little gasket that goes up on the bottom. So I got to make sure I have the orientation just right for this. Just going to pop the holes in it. Hopefully I can get it through while I still have the connectors on the end attached. If not, it's gonna suck. And beforehand, it's always good to take a picture of it. So as long as I can unpin this and route the wires through here, it will still have the same layout, and I can just transfer it over and plug it right in. Alright, got that one out. That one's going to be right up front. Pattern is like this, so we need to keep it like this. Ah, man. I was afraid that that's going to happen. Gonna tear it if I try to do that. I have an extra one, so let's see how bad it is. Look at that. That's sick. It stretched just enough. Awesome. Alright, let's get these other ones going. There's like a little pin on the inside that you have to like go in and like just hit it down. That way it can like pop right out. Let me get this one off to the side out. Whoop, there we go. Alright. So a lot of these like single ones I'm gonna probably have to cut off, which is okay. But you guys get the gist of what's going on. So I'm gonna save you the trouble of watching me struggle doing all this. I'm just gonna snip this off, put a new connector on, and just move on. So I'll be back once I get them and both of these. Okay, so I finally got everything in. I didn't have to cut anything, which is great. So now we just have to copy everything over, and this is gonna be fun. So I guess I'll start with the middle one. So if you look at this, where we see the little dash, you see that that little clip on that? The clip needs to face towards that dash whenever we like go ahead and put all this in. So it looks like everything's facing pretty much the right way, except for this red wire. Blue one needs to face this way, red needs to face that way, and everything else looks like it's pretty lined up. Except for this red one. This red one does not want to stay sideways. All right, got a couple clicked in, and then now we'll just copy this one on over. This blue one needs to spin around. The white one stays just like that. This yellow one needs to turn. And that looks about right. So now we can go ahead and put this in. And obviously I'm doing this the extremely hard way. All right, I got this one in. That one's in. This middle one needs to go in. All right, guys, now that it's completely dark outside, I finally got everything plugged into here. I got my power wires ran into here for the fuse. I have it connected to this wire on the battery. What I just did right now, this goes into the stock plug on the car, and all I did was flip the white and the black. So the black was on this side and the white was up top. I just flipped it so that way I don't need the extender. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Now I'm going to cut the wires and then extend them. I'll do this for this plug as well. I'm going to extend it so that way it can pop down underneath my headlight and then plug into my stock connector right there, which I will be replacing later on. So you see that awesome rust hole that I have? I'm probably gonna route the wires through there or just go through the factory grommet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I've covered this plenty of times on how to just extend the wires, so I'm just gonna save you guys from the boredom. Just do it, and then I'll show you the final product. That way you guys can just copy it. I'll be back. All right, guys, I got an update on what I actually need to do. I don't have enough wire to extend everything. Plus these are 14 gauge wire and that's 16, and all I have is 18. So I need to go pick up some wire, so I might have to finish this tomorrow morning. If I don't have time tonight, I'll catch you on day 3. Hey guys, it's day 3. Last night I had to stop because I had to go get some wire, and it was just getting too late. So I got a lot of stuff ran last night, and I stopped at Lowe's to go pick up some extra wire. I picked up some 14 gauge wire. I got 3 colors. I got black, white, and green. And then I also picked up some heat terminal crimps. Wire terminal crimps with the heat yeah, that heat stuff on it. Wow, I can't even think today, Jesus. But yeah, so today I'm going to finish extending the plugs for the lights. As you can see, I left off yesterday. This is the new one that I need to extend. It already has a ground on it, so I can ground it under there somewhere. And then this is the main one I'm going to extend that plugs right into the housing, like I explained yesterday. So these two are going to get extended down under here. And then we have our passenger side, which I just need to extend probably about like 3 feet or so. That's not too bad. Pretty easy to get done. Probably not going to show you guys me extending it. Maybe I'll show you like the passenger side to make it easier. Then I'm just gonna wire up, run a wire from the turn signal. I'll show you which wire to tap into. That way we can have our sequential turn signal on the light itself. And then I'm going to be running the daytime running lights. So when our headlights are up and we don't want them on, because sometimes we don't want them on all the time, right? We have this lamp on the side that illuminates. This isn't our turn signal, there's just a light in there. So I'm going to tap into the power side on that. So whenever that's on, we have the ring around the headlight, the daytime running light, just illuminated. Figured why not? Looks pretty cool. And yeah, I'll show you which one to tap into there as well. And yeah, so I'm gonna start getting some stuff knocked out on this, and I'll update you on the whole process as I go. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you guys the wire run that I'm going to do for this. Easiest way to do this is just take one wire. We're going to run it through the grommet down under here. And then we can grab it on, it comes out like by the battery. So we can grab that. We're just gonna run it up around where our plug is. So we don't want to like cut ourselves short. So we're just gonna do simple wire routing underneath here. Like, okay, this is where I want my fuse box to sit. I have some extra wire going down underneath there, you know, doing that kind of stuff. All right, and that's kind of where everything sits. That's a huge mess, Jesus. So our extended wire, we're probably gonna cut it like that. Cut everything. Each one is going to be a little bit different in length, because you don't want to like cut each one at the same length and then put a butt connector on it, or you know, especially with like butt connectors like that. If you're going to use those, cut them at different lengths, so that way whenever you go and wrap them together, you don't get this huge clump of just wires just right there. So that looks about right. I'm going to do that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Route that under, give us some extra room. And then I'm probably gonna have this plug come out to probably about, you know, right here. That should be enough room. That way this can get moved around a little bit. And yeah, so we're just gonna cut it to right about this. That looks good. Cool. So now we're going to just pull this through. We're going to cut this, let's see, how many times do we need to cut? One, we have a blue one here that we need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to make five cuts of wire. We're going to have 2 of these, 2 whites, and then 1 black. This literally makes it so that way at least the wire is like somewhat the same length. And then we can trim what we need afterwards. Alright, now that we have all of our wires cut for our connectors, let's do some pre-running on some stuff. So we're going to need to differentiate which wires which. Easiest way to do that is just to take a piece of tape and then just tape a couple of them together. So we need a white, green, and a black. And tape that around here. This is just temporary. And then these two, this is going to be for our brand new connector, the orange one. We'll tape these together because we're going to be running this the same way. And then I'm going to throw it in a loom. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, so now that these are just taped together, I'm going to do a full tape on it. These aren't proper automotive wires, so they're not like the best against like full-on heat resistance of an engine bay. So that's why I'm going through wrapping all this, and then I'm going to put it through one of these looms. Alright, that will be plenty for now, and then I can finish it up afterwards. Oh yeah, that looks good. So on this side, I'm going to crimp them all at first. See how that's in there like that? We can go ahead and grab our crimper and then just squeeze down on it. Oh yeah, I messed up on this. I meant to like crimp one, cut this one back. All right, we're stuck like this, guys. This is on me. I'm dumb. All right, all the crimps look pretty good. Now we can go ahead and heat shrink every single one of them. Beautiful. Now, usually you use a heat gun, but a lighter is just fine as well if you don't have access to power while you're doing this kind of stuff. That's all done. And then we just come over here to the headlight side. This 2-prong is going to be for this plug here, and then the 3-prong is going to be for the factory one, or the 3-wire one is going to be for the factory. So I'm going to do that. When I'm done, I'll show you exactly what it's supposed to look like, and then we can find a ground area to just bolt this on. All right, guys, I got the driver's side all wired up. Let's go ahead and pop in the light. But first, let me show you how I got everything routed. So I got the new plug. It's all up here. Everything's connected. I got it taped off. And then this ground wire, I simply have it over on this bolt right down over here on the fender. You can put it on this one, but I was afraid that whenever the light goes down, it might pinch. So I put it right back there. This is where the stock connector is located now. I got the new one plugged into there, and I just coiled it up underneath, so that way whenever it drops, it'll just drop up and down. I still have to route the passenger side, just extend that, and that's it. So I popped in a fuse. Let's go ahead and throw in one of these lights, and let's see if everything turns on. All right, got the light plugged in. All right, we got low beams on, perfect. Now let's check our high beams. Oh, I heard the relay click. Huh. I wonder what I did wrong. That's not good. All right, back to the drawing board. Let me make sure I got everything right. All right, I found the issue. It was this relay. I did not have that green wire pushed in and clicked into this pin over here. So I just pushed it in, and yep, that fixed it. And I did apply some heat on this heat shrink tubing. Now that's all secured, and it looks like everything's good to go. And let me just show you guys so you can see that I'm not lying. Low beams working. Relay clicked. High beams. Sweet. All right, so the last thing I need to do as far as getting the passenger side to work is just to extend that harness over a few feet. And then I'm gonna see if I have enough time to tap into my turn signal and my running lights so I can have some daytime running lights. All right, I'm gonna do that, and I'll be back. All right, so I identified which one is going to be your turn signal and which one is going to be your running lights. The green wire with the black line and the brown dot is going to be your turn signal. And then this other just green wire running here is going to be your running lights. And that goes into a white connector right here, and then it splits off. So I put a wire tap here, and then I'm going to put another one here for the running lights. All right, and on your headlights itself, red is going to be your daytime running light, and then green is going to be your turn signal. I have yellow as my turn signal, white as my daytime running lights. All right, guys, so it's late at night, and I forgot to bring my GoPro, so I'm filming on my phone, and I figured out the high beam situation. Earlier in the video, I'm going to notate it anyway. Remember when I said on this new harness that plugs into your factory harness. This is the one that goes to the relay, and then you have another plug that plugs in for your LED headlights. Remember when I said to switch the white with the black? Because on the factory harness, this top one would be ground, and then this is the low beam. Well, that made the light work by itself, but do not do that. Main reason why is because when you plug in your other headlight, the brights will not work. The low beams will work, but your high beams will not work at all. So I decided just to switch it back, just like how it came out of the box, and my high beams work. So let me show that for you. All right, so that's the low beam, and here's your high beam. Boom. Yeah, that's literally all it was, which is pretty nice. So now you know, if you get this kit, to not swap out these pins. I will notate that. This will save you a lot of headache, because when I had the regular halogen plugged in and I tried turning on the brights, they would work, but when I switched over to the other headlight, it wouldn't work. And I'm like, what is going on? And that was literally the reason. It's because they intended it to be wired up like this, and me being me, like, oh, that's not how it's done. So there we go. That's how you do that. I got these all sorted out now. I did get the indicator light to work, which the car has to be running to send, I guess there's like a voltage issue, but this does turn on. Oh, and for the passenger side harness, I did run it right underneath the, I followed the factory wiring harness going on the passenger side, and I just made it come out through the grommet in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in and try to see what the clearance is like whenever I close the headlight, and try to align them, and I'll give you like an after shot once I get everything situated. So I'm gonna work on that, get the harness ran, and then yeah, I'll be back. All right, guys, it's the final day. I just literally wrapped everything up last night. It's so good to have these headlights in. They're awesome. Now I did show you guys that clip where it was just like, hey, do not switch the black and red wire on the aftermarket loom. Just keep it how it is. And that was the reason why my brights weren't turning on. So if you're literally just using it right out of the box, you don't have to do anything to it. You can literally just mount the relays somewhere up front and then run the cord over for the LED headlights. Then you can keep your relays somewhere underneath the headlight or inside of there. There's plenty of room, or right by the battery. And it's super plug and play there. As you guys know, I wanted to throw the relays in that aftermarket fuse and relay box that I got. So I had to do some extra work there. But if you guys are just doing this out of the box, you can probably get it done within an hour if you're taking your time. It's pretty simple. But yeah, let's check out what they look like during the day. Oh yeah, they look so sick. Super cool. And my turn signals do work. The car has to be running. I guess it's like a power issue. Or like not enough power going to it, but whatever. I'm super happy with this, and I totally recommend these headlights for sure. And if you guys want to pick these up, I will have the link below. You can use discount code SKG to get some money off on there. I think it's like 10% or so, something like that. Helps you guys out, helps me out too. And they look sick. And the light pattern, the beam pattern, is actually pretty good on it. For being more the budget-friendly headlights. There's just a little bit of ghosting that goes on top, as you will see in the before and after. It's not really a before because I didn't have my low beams, but if you guys have a Supra, you know how bad the factory halogen lights are, or just halogen lights in general, unless you get like the super, I don't know, like the super bright ones. But anyway, those still burn out too quick. But yeah, the ghosting on top, I stood in front of the car and it did not bug me at all. There's like no like glare where it's just like, oh, this is awful. It's just like a little ghosting effect. But if you guys don't want that, you can drop like $300 on some name brand aftermarket headlights. These will do just fine, and they look cool as well. Before, and here's the lights installed. Check that out. High beams. Alright, you see what I mean about that little ghosting effect on it? I walked out front and I did not get any kind of glare from it at all. Anyways, if this video helped you out in any way and you liked it, of course, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe to see more videos like these. I'll catch you on the next ride.